again. Welcome to today's attempt at the TimeGuessr puzzle. This is a game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. We'll be given a series of 5 photos just like this one. For each one we have to say where in the world was it taken, and we also have to say when in history was it taken, anywhere from 1900 to the present day. Of course, there's more points the closer you are both on the map and on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 to 3/4, or that's what I say anyway, but of course it just depends on A, how good my guessing is, and B, how clear the pictures are and how easy it is to identify where and when they were taken. Feel free to leave your comments, or leave your guesses in the comments and play along at home, and let's crack on. This says Norge. I was thinking maybe it was going to be Norway, but then that would be Norvège, wouldn't it? Is it a Zeppelin? Is it going to be Germany towards the Second World War period? Oh, that might say Roma, actually. Aeronautisch. Do I think that sounds Italian? Not sure. I feel like it's European somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of snow, so maybe it is actually Norwegian after all. I'm very confused by the whole thing. Maybe it doesn't say Roma. Maybe it's an H at the start for whatever this word is. Maybe it's an acronym and the A stands for aeronautisch. That makes some kind of sense. Okay, let's go Scandinavia then. So the only question is what year, and I cannot tell from the clothes because they're all covered in thick coats and boots, aren't they? Because it's freezing. So when were they having Zeppelins? Like I said, I think it's going to be towards the time of the Second World War, isn't it? I could be way off. It's not a very good quality. To be fair, it is a good quality photo considering how old I think it is. I might just leave it at 1940. I don't know. Let's go for Oslo. Well, let's go for the outskirts of Oslo. A little bit closer to Sweden. I'll hedge my bets because it's clearly not in the middle of a city, is it? Oh, it's 26. It was even earlier, and it was Norwegian. It was even further north. 1,300 miles away. I should have noticed or should have had more confidence in my guess that it was freezing. I don't think I'd have ever been brave enough to go for the North Pole, though. We've never had one from the North Pole before. That's incredible. Very happy to see it. But I didn't score very well. This one should be easier. This one looks very Scottish. Lots of kilts and sporrans. What year do we think it's from? The Gathering 2009. If this is not taken in 2009, that is a dirty, dirty trick. I would definitely have gone more recent than that if I hadn't seen that, because it looks like a very good quality photo. Although actually she's taken a photo with a camera and not a smartphone, so maybe I would have worked out that it's at least 15 years ago. I mean, Scotland isn't huge, so I'm going to be pretty close wherever I go. My main question here is, do I go for Glasgow or not Glasgow or Celtic, Glasgow or Edinburgh? I mean, I've been to Edinburgh, I've not been to Glasgow. Let's go for... We'll go for 2009. And I guess we'll go for Edinburgh. They're pretty close anyway, aren't they? We'll plonk it there and see what happens. It was 2009, it was Edinburgh. So that is a much better score than the previous one. That's what we like, but a much easier one. What's going on here? Cyrillic. Moribar, something like that. That might say Polska. So I guess we're going for Poland, just in case. And if it's Polish and it's Cyrillic, then it must be whilst Poland was part of the Soviet Union, one presumes. Although, I mean, it was part of the Soviet Union up until the collapse in 91, wasn't it? So working out that this is earlier than 1991 is not really the most helpful, because I think I could have worked that out through other means. Lots of cranes. I mean, it doesn't look ancient, does it? It's black and white. Black and white photos always put me off because they could be anywhere from 1900 to about 1990. What is going on? I mean, it is clearly not 1900. The women are dressed far too casually for that to be the case. They don't have their legs covered. The men aren't all wearing hats. It's definitely not 1900. I just don't know whether it's 60s or 80s, or I'm probably going to go for the 70s. Let's go early 70s. We'll go 72, and we'll go Eastern Poland. I guess the capital is in Eastern Poland, so let's go for Warsaw. That's annoying. It didn't say Polska after all. Frustrating. If I'd just gone based on the fact that it was Cyrillic, I'd have obviously gone for Moscow or St. Petersburg. Oh well, at least I still got nearly 3,000 for the location. It was 61 though, it was earlier. I said 60s or 80s. At least I was half right. This is not a good effort so far. Oh, this is another tricky looking one. I mean, I'm presuming somewhere in, I want to say China. Now that is a Japanese letter. Most of these letters I didn't recognise, but some of they have different styles of writing, that's the thing, and I recognise some letters, so actually I'm now thinking it's Japanese, because that is definitely a Japanese letter. I think I recognise a few of these other ones as well. Okay. Okay, we'll go for Japan. There's plenty of cars. That's quite a wide road. So it's not going to be too ancient, but those are not particularly modern looking cars. If the previous one hadn't been in the 1960s, I might have guessed that this one was instead. They could easily have more than one photo from the same decade, of course, they just tend not to. So I don't think this is 80s, so the question is it 50s or 70s? I think I might go for the 50s. Try 55. It could be earlier, to be fair, but I think let's just go 55 in Tokyo and hope that I am vaguely close. I am vaguely close, but it wasn't Japan or China, it was Taiwan. Oh, why is Japan so far from Taiwan? I was in the right part of the world, East Asia. I deserve more than 1800. If I'm going to get 2900 for the previous one, when I was in Eastern Europe, I deserve more than 1800 for this one when I'm in Eastern Asia. Oh dear, this is a very tough set of 5. What's going on here? Arabian Gulf Street, Al Sur Street. It's the Middle East somewhere, isn't it? Could be Egypt, could be Abu Dhabi, UAE, Iran, Iraq. That looks like the Iraqi flag or Iranian flag? Maybe Iranian. I mean, it could be Yemen. Only being able to see part of the flag is very annoying. And of course, this might be long enough ago that they had different flags back then as well. Because this flag also looks very different to this flag, which looks very different to this flag, so it's confusing on several levels. Can't read any of that. When do I think the Mazda 929LX was on sale? 80s, 90s, early 2000s? Let's try 2000 on the dot, because why not? Now, how far is Iran from Yemen? Could be Kuwait. Yemen is down here, Iran is up here. I'm kind of tempted to go for Dubai just because it's between the two. Could be Riyadh as well. Let's go for Riyadh. I don't think it's right, but I think it's in the vicinity. It was 1991 and it was Kuwait. I think that might have been one of the countries that I mentioned. So I wasn't a million miles off. 333.3 miles to be precise. 64, 64, so I've got just under 2/3 for that. but I've got way under 2/3 overall, I think. Oh, I got over 30,000. I thought I'd done far worse than that. It's, what, 32,000 would be 64%, so it is just under the 2/3 that I said I was aiming for. But A, I think it was a tough set, and B, I do think I did better than I expected. Let's look at the stats. I'm in the bottom 29% today. That's disappointing. Below average. My guesses were 66 years off on average. No, I scored 66% on average for the years. It was the locations that let me down. Not so good. I mean, this one, I was essentially one country away. There was a few where I was one country away. I think Scotland was the only one where I was in the right country. Yeah, I did badly on the locations, but it's good to know that they were a difficult set. What's going on over here? I scored 3,800 for the first one on average, 4,900. Yeah, I did worse. The second one was very easy. I did better. The third one is the one that let me down. I lost 2,200 points compared to the average. I guess everybody else knew that it was Cyrillic and just went for Moscow. I should have done as well. I tried to be too clever. Then this one, 67, I did slightly better than average, and this last one, you can't see it, but I scored 64. The average was 72, so a little bit worse than average as well. But yeah, it was just this annoying Polish-Russian one that really cost me, compared to the average anyway. So interesting, I'm glad they've started doing all of these stats. Anyway, that is the Time Guesser. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.